Hi, Group 6. This is Valerie. This is my matrix measurement tool matrix assignment submission for you to review. And what I have chosen is a sleep questionnaire. And I have chosen two of them. The first one is the Richards-Campbell Sleep Questionnaire. This questionnaire is used universally to assess for sleep deprivation in patients in the intensive care. It's also available in all languages except Farsi and Iranian, which I thought was quite unique. So it's world renowned and used. This study is done to determine the psychometric properties of the questionnaire itself, and it was actually administered to 100 ICU patients in a military hospital in Tehran in 2016. So the purpose of this sleep questionnaire is to measure sleep quality in ICU patients. There are 5 psychometric domains, and they are sleep quality, efficiency, depth, latency, and number of awakenings. And the 6th item that they did record was the noise score that was measured on a scale. The actual domains themselves were scored ranging from a 0 to 100 on a millimeter obtained by using a visual analog scale. The higher the score, that would equal the better sleep quality. The time frame that the data was collected was once in a 24-hour period while they were in ICU. A method of administration that was administered by nursing staff to patients that could communicate. Sample size was 100. There were 72% were males and 28% were females. The mean age was 60.65. The results were that this questionnaire was found to be short and easy to administer. It definitely was very acceptable in measuring the psychometric properties that it was stated that it was going to measure. And then they were consistent in this study and studies that have been done in other countries. The findings were consistent with those studies also. The Richards-Campbell Sleep Questionnaire is a questionnaire that met the desired reliability and for the measuring the quality of sleep in patients admitted to ICU. The reliability and validity of the quality of sleep in patients admitted to ICU. The Pearson correlation coefficient was R plus 0.714 with a p-factor of 0.001, and the internal consistency was using the Cronbar alpha with an R equaling 0.906 and a p-factor of 0.001. The next sleep assessment tool I reviewed during this assignment was the Sleep Pattern Assessment Tool. This tool was formulated by researchers who wanted to have a combination tool to assess certain measures of sleep patterns observed by nursing staff and those that were self-reported by the patients in the study. The measurements that were assessed were 3 elements. 1 was the sleep pattern times, 2 was the day and night awakenings, and 3 was the level of sleepiness, and that was daytime sleepiness. Sample included patients that were 60 and over, and they were residents either of a rehabilitation ward or a nursing home. 41 residents actually met the study inclusion criterion, and gender was not specified. The assessment variables in this particular tool that were measured were the settling down time, the sleep onset time, final awakening time, getting up time, night awakenings, and within that, the time, duration, and reason were stated for those awakenings. Also, the number of daytime naps and the estimation of daytime sleepiness. Specific criterion were used to establish a consistent measurement of each variable based on literature review of other sleep assessment tools. The method of administration was observed and reported patient data that was collected over a 24-hour period for 7 days. The self-reporting of the patient's perception of their quality and quantity and daytime sleepiness were collected by research team members through daily interviews. The interviews consisted of 5 open-ended questions. The objective and subjective quantitative data was coded and entered and analyzed using SPSS, and the qualitative responses were coded, then analyzed. Results. This particular tool, like I said, was developed by the researchers so they could combine certain elements of things they wanted to study. But the conclusion was that there was a large percentage of incomplete data collected because it wasn't consistently collected by the staff, or missed with a large amount of gaps in the data. And also the tool they felt was too complex and too time involved, and involved too much time as far as actually administrating. There was also a lot of difficulty of the nursing staff to actually honestly observe the patients sleeping due to their other responsibilities while working. So the assessment tool validity and reliability was not validated with this study. So my preference will be to definitely refer back to the Richard Campbell sleep questionnaire to be used to assess the vulnerable population of ICU patients for their sleep deprivation that can also affect their overall recovery and health. Thank you.